New tonight at E through 8, a chemical found in hundreds of popular shampoos is now being linked to cancer. Stay tuned as we reveal which products and what you can do about it. That shampoo sitting in your shower right now could be slowly destroying your hair. And the worst part? You had no idea. While millions of people have trusted these billion-dollar brands with their most prized possession, those same companies have been hiding ingredients that cause more damage than skipping wash day entirely. The question nobody wants to answer is, why would they deliberately sabotage their own customers? You know that frustrating feeling when you buy something thinking it will finally solve your problem, but it actually makes everything 10 times worse? Grab something to sit on because we need to talk about OGX's Biotin Plus Collagen Shampoo. And trust me, this rabbit hole goes deeper than anyone expected. Here's what the labels never told you. This product contains something called DMDM hydantoin. Sounds like a fancy scientific ingredient that must do something amazing, right? Wrong. Dead wrong. It's a preservative that slowly releases formaldehyde over time. Yes, that same chemical morticians use to preserve dead bodies. The National Toxicology Program has classified formaldehyde as a known human carcinogen. Makes you wonder what kind of person sits in a boardroom and thinks putting embalming fluid in hair care is a brilliant idea. The plot thickens when you dig into the history. Johnson & Johnson acquired OGX's parent company back in 2016 for a staggering $3.3 billion. Here's where it gets infuriating. The company had already announced in 2012 that they would remove DMDM hydantoin and similar ingredients from their products by 2015. They actually followed through on that promise for their existing lines. Then they bought OGX and completely abandoned those same standards for consumer safety. For years after, products with the problematic formula kept rolling off production lines and onto store shelves. The announcements finally came in September 2021 that they would reformulate. Great news, except for one massive problem. Those old bottles containing the original formula kept showing up in the stores, just sitting there waiting for unsuspecting customers to grab them. People bought this shampoo specifically because biotin is supposed to help hair grow thicker and stronger. Instead, consumers started developing bald patches. Some folks lost so much hair they looked like they had gotten into a fight with a lawnmower and lost badly. The lawsuits started accumulating faster than hair in a shower drain. Scalp irritation, excessive shedding, the whole nightmare. One woman described feeling like her scalp was on fire every single time she washed her hair. Those Instagram-worthy bottles with their fancy marketing convinced everyone they were purchasing something premium and completely safe. What happened next would prove this was far from an isolated incident. OGX wasn't operating alone in this game of follicular roulette. Let's talk about Tari-Seme's Keratin Smooth line. The name sounds luxurious, like you're getting salon-quality treatment without the salon prices. That smooth experience might leave you smoother than you bargained for, as in smooth scalp where your hair used to be. The brand faced legal action across multiple states for allegedly causing hair thinning, baldness, and scalp irritation. The culprit? That same troublemaker we just discussed. DMDM hydantoin strikes again. Some users weren't just reporting a bad hair day or some extra dryness. They described actual chemical burns on their scalps, not the mild stinging kind that goes away after a few minutes. The kind requiring medical attention. Unilever, the company behind Tari-Seme, had already settled similar lawsuits before. Yet somehow products containing these same problematic ingredients kept appearing on store shelves. It's like hiding vegetables under mashed potatoes and hoping nobody would notice. Eventually, everyone finds out. The cruel irony cuts deep. That keratin smooth promise painted on every bottle turned into a nightmare for thousands of users. Instead of the silky, manageable hair they paid for, they got brittle, breaking strands that fell out in clumps during every wash. The marketing claimed these products would deeply nourish, gently cleanse, and repair hair. Reality delivered the opposite, but the hair care industry's problems extend beyond one ingredient. Let's examine what Pantene has been quietly doing for decades. This brand has mastered the art of making your hair feel incredible for about 2 weeks, then transforming it into something that belongs in a cautionary tale exhibit. The formula reads like a chemistry experiment gone sideways. Parabens that scientists have linked to hormone disruption. Sulfates that strip your scalp like industrial-strength paint remover. Silicones in quantities that could waterproof a small boat. Your hair feels silky smooth initially because those silicones essentially coat every strand in a thin layer of plastic. It looks good temporarily, just like putting makeup on damage. The illusion holds until you see what's actually happening underneath. After several months of consistent use, that silicone accumulation creates a dull, heavy feeling. Your hair starts looking lifeless, refusing to hold any style or bounce. The explanation makes sense once you understand the mechanism. You're not actually cleaning your hair anymore. Each wash just adds another layer of coating on top of the previous one. Meanwhile, the sulfates work overtime, stripping away your scalp's natural protective oils. Your poor scalp interprets this as an emergency situation and kicks into panic mode, pumping out extra oil to compensate for what keeps disappearing. Now you're stuck with greasy roots and coated ends that look like they haven't seen proper conditioning in years. Multiple users report their excessive shedding stopped completely after switching away from these products. One woman described it like turning off a faucet. The hair just stopped falling out overnight. For anyone already dealing with age-related thinning, harsh formulas accelerate the problem rather than solving anything. Speaking of acceleration, the budget aisle holds some expensive surprises. When every dollar counts, that $3 bottle starts looking pretty attractive. Suave built their entire empire on the promise that you don't need expensive products when something cheap works just as well. That bargain might end up costing far more than anyone anticipated. Remember that DMDM hidden toy we keep encountering? Suave got caught using it too. Class action lawsuits started accumulating faster than grocery coupons, with consumers claiming their hair transformed into something resembling a scarecrow's wig after using these products. Here's the disturbing part. The company allegedly knew about these problems while continuing to market their products as safe and gentle. That's like selling someone a used car while knowing the brakes don't work, then slapping a reliable transportation sticker on the windshield anyway. The lawsuit complaints read like entries from a horror anthology. People reported hair so brittle, it snapped like dry pasta when touched. Others said their hair became completely unmanageable, looking like they'd stuck their finger in an electrical socket every morning before work. Many people using budget shampoos were trying to stretch their money for more important priorities: healthcare, family expenses, the essentials that actually matter. Instead, they ended up needing expensive salon treatments to repair what their budget-friendly shampoo destroyed. Suddenly, that $3 savings turns into hundreds of dollars in damage control. Some deal that turned out to be. The company only removed the problematic ingredient after facing pressure from lawsuits targeting their Seme line. Makes you wonder how long they would have continued without that legal motivation. America's favorite dandruff fighter has been creating its own set of problems. Head & Shoulders earned its reputation over decades. Your parents probably used it, maybe your grandparents too. The zinc pyrithione crystals absolutely work for eliminating flakes. Here's the uncomfortable truth nobody mentions in those commercials. While solving one problem, the formula creates several others. The European Union banned zinc pyrithione from cosmetics as of March 2022. The European Chemicals Agency classified it as a Category 1B reproductive toxicant. That classification means scientists presume the ingredient causes reproductive harm based on animal studies. The substance can't be used in cosmetics sold anywhere in the EU anymore. The formula also loads up on sulfates that strip your scalp like sandpaper on a wooden fence post. Your scalp produces natural oils for protection. Strip those away every single day, and your poor scalp starts working overtime, manufacturing even more oil trying to compensate. Your head gets stuck in a perpetual cycle of panic. Then there's the synthetic fragrance situation. Companies aren't legally required to disclose what's actually inside their fragrance blend. It's like ordering a mystery cocktail where the bartender refuses to tell you what's in it, except this version goes directly onto your head every morning. And the trap becomes clear once you see the pattern. You start using the product because you have dandruff. The harsh formula strips away your scalp's natural moisture barrier. Your scalp becomes dry and irritated, creating more flaking, so you use more product. The cycle repeats indefinitely. For older adults, this pattern hits particularly hard. Your skin already produces less oil naturally as you age. Adding aggressive stripping agents into that mix is like throwing gasoline on smoldering embers. The dependency becomes real. Many users find themselves completely reliant on anti-dandruff shampoos because their scalps lost the ability to regulate themselves naturally. Tropical scents can hide some unpleasant realities. Garnier Fructis smells like a vacation destination in liquid form. Unfortunately, your scalp doesn't get any say in booking that trip. Those fruity aromas hitting your nose represent pure synthetic chemistry. Companies face no legal requirement to disclose what actually comprises their fragrance blend. It's like ordering something at a restaurant where the chef won't tell you any ingredients. That single word fragrance on any ingredient list can conceal dozens of individual chemical compounds. Some of these substances interfere with hormone systems more than anyone would expect from a bottle of shampoo. Your scalp absorbs everything applied to it. Those endocrine disruptors don't simply wash down the drain and disappear. Allergic reactions often start small. Maybe some itching, a little redness, nothing that seems worth worrying about. Then your scalp decides it's had enough of this fruit cocktail party. Full-blown contact dermatitis can develop, requiring actual medical treatment to resolve. Nothing says fresh and fruity like scheduling an appointment with a dermatologist. The whole blends line takes deceptive packaging to impressive heights. Images of avocados and honey cover every bottle, screaming natural ingredients at anyone walking past the shelf. Meanwhile, the formula contains synthetic dyes and harsh preservatives that would make any chemist raise an eyebrow. Classic misdirection, making consumers believe they're getting something straight from nature when they're actually purchasing a chemical corporation's profit margin. For anyone with sensitive skin, these synthetic fragrance compounds are particularly brutal. Years of exposure accumulate like compound interest on a loan with terrible terms. Your scalp keeps track of every application, even when your nose stops registering the smell. Some trends should have stayed in the stable. What's worse than using horse shampoo on delicate human scalp? Actually believing it will transform your hair into something magnificent. Mane and tail started as an equine product. Logical enough, horses need clean hair too. Somewhere along the way, humans decided that if something works for a 1-200-pound animal, it must be miracle juice for their heads. The lawsuits tell a different story. Straight Arrow products faced class action suits after users reported severe scalp irritation, hair loss, and actual bald patches. The culprit? Those same formaldehyde-releasing ingredients that keep appearing throughout this investigation. Horse hair and human hair couldn't be more different. Horses have thick, coarse strands designed to withstand rolling through dirt and galloping across fields. Human hair requires delicacy, refined care, gentle pH balance, and moisture management. Comparing the two is like comparing steel wool to silk thread and expecting them to respond to the same treatment. The protein-heavy formula meant for horses essentially takes a sledgehammer approach when a delicate touch is required. Some users experienced chemical burns severe enough to need dermatological treatment. Permanent hair loss in affected areas became an expensive, painful reminder. The trend gained traction because people saw horses with shiny coats and assumed that was their ticket to fabulous hair. But horses don't worry about pattern baldness or age-related thinning. They don't need gentle pH levels or careful moisture balance. Using horse shampoo on human heads makes about as much sense as wearing horseshoes to a formal dinner. Technically, it covers the requirement, but it's completely wrong for the situation. Not every bottle on the shelf wants to betray your trust. After examining 7 brands that have failed their customers, let's discuss options that actually deliver on their promises. Alterna's Caviar Anti-Aging line uses real caviar extract in their formulation. The marine proteins cost more than budget options, but the formula specifically targets aging hair concerns. Thinning strands that snap faster than patience with telemarketers. Brittle texture that refuses to cooperate with any styling attempt. The caviar extract delivers omega fatty acids that actually penetrate the hair shaft, not coating it like exterior house paint, but genuinely repairing damage from the inside, working outward. Right? It's like sending your hair to rehabilitation therapy instead of just slapping a bandage over the problem. The ingredient list reads like a checklist of what to avoid, became a checklist of what to include. 0 sulfates, 0 parabens, 0 formaldehyde-releasing preservatives. That toxic trio from every brand we just examined, completely absent. The price runs between $30 and $40 per bottle. Your wallet might flinch initially. Here's the calculation that changes everything. The formula concentrates ingredients more efficiently, meaning you use less product per wash. 1 bottle stretches 2 to 3 months with normal use. Users report stronger hair within weeks, reduced breakage, better manageability, and that genuine satisfaction of hair that looks presentable without covering it with a hat. Quality doesn't always require sacrificing your savings. Before assuming safe ingredients require emptying your bank account, meet bioterra. This brand proves clean formulations exist at drugstore prices. Running between $7 and $10 per bottle, bioterra offers sulfate-free, paraben-free options, sitting right there in the same aisle as all those problematic products. The brand focuses on botanical extracts and natural proteins that actually strengthen hair, instead of waging chemical warfare on your scalp. The concept sounds almost revolutionary given everything we've covered, using ingredients that help instead of harm. The ingredient lists read like a garden catalog instead of a chemistry textbook. No formaldehyde-releasing preservatives hiding in there like uninvited guests overstaying their welcome. Coconut yogurt, ginseng, shea butter? Ingredients you can actually pronounce without a science degree. Users consistently report something remarkable. Their hair feels genuinely clean without that stripped, squeaky sensation. You know that feeling when your hair seems like you've washed it with dish soap? That's actually damage happening in real time. BioTerra delivers balanced, healthy cleansing that doesn't leave your scalp sending out emergency signals for help. The formulas target specific concerns: strengthening, volumizing, moisturizing. You're not gambling every time you wash, hoping for the best without any guarantee. For anyone dealing with thinning or dryness, targeted approaches mean addressing actual problems rather than creating new ones. BioTerra represents that elusive sweet spot everyone searches for. Budget-friendly pricing without the toxic baggage that comes standard with most cheap shampoos. Millions of people trust their hair to products that might be slowly damaging it. Major corporations have known about ingredient concerns for over a decade while continuing to market these formulas as safe and beneficial. Class action lawsuits pile up, reformulations happen quietly, and old stock keeps moving off shelves into unsuspecting homes. The European Union banned ingredients that American products still contain. Formaldehyde releasers hide behind scientific names that most consumers never think to research. Sulfates strip away natural protection, while synthetic fragrances mask dozens of undisclosed chemicals. Safer alternatives exist at every price point. The information is available for anyone willing to flip the bottle around and actually read what's listed. The question worth considering is simple. How long will consumers keep trusting their hair to companies that have consistently prioritized profit over the health of the people buying their products? Your hair deserves better than being an experiment. Check those labels before your next purchase. Your scalp will thank you.